grocery stores. So let's get started. Store themselves, right? So we talked about how store has to deal with the government throws at them. Store has to deal, well, chooses to participate, for the things that the manufacturers and vendors out there doing because, this right here is just regulation. Government is just regulation and requirements. Manufacturers and vendors are doing sales and marketing efforts. So if you as a merchant are choosing to participate because you see the benefit, because you see how this brings more people to your store, or gives you more sales otherwise. And so for the most part, you want to participate in these special deals and special promotions that the manufacturers are pushing. But then there's stuff that the stores just do on their own, right? So if we're talking about grocery retailers, there's just things that are driven by the perishable nature of the product, right? So things tend to go bad in the grocery stores. So you'll have date-driven discounts, right? Because you need to move the merchandise, for example. You have the need for shelf space. There's more stuff than you want to put on your shelf than you have the room for. So that would be another reason to initiate quantity-based discounts for you as a merchant, right? To either get rid of the perishable items or free up shelf space. You obviously are thinking about customer retention program, which is why you as a merchant will want to initiate loyalty programs or other ways of interacting with your consumers to get more of the good customers into the store, right? Checkout is a pretty big factor because there are things that just need to be accommodated for. Because think of a checkout experience like at the factory, you have a process. Well, checkout is one of those little processes that's extremely important. And so what are we talking about, for at the checkout? So at the checkout is the opportunity to handle the fees and the prices that can be managed. And then we have the scale and POS integration next to POS integration. So we're talking about the grocery store. A checkout could be an item that's sell by weight, or it could just be an item that you scan, right? So imagine you're at the grocery store. If something has a barcode, well, that's great. You just scan it. If something doesn't doesn't have a barcode, that means you look that item up and then you put it on a scale. Same thing for anything, including Clover. So how do you do that? Right. So scale next to POS integration. Unit tier management. This is, again, a little bit of requirement. So if you don't do this, this falls onto the requirements. But for the most part, retailers, feel that even if nobody's watching, they're going to do this themselves, which is don't charge the customer for containers, right? So find a way to remove the weight of the container from the things that you're weighing, because otherwise people are paying for containers, for the weight of containers. And then you have the scale by the prep station integration. So if you're thinking about a grocery store, there are going to be sections in the store that are not checkout, but a prep station, right? So there could be like a deli session, there could be a meat cutting session, there could be a cheese cutting session where customers can come in, ask for certain things to be cut, prepped, made into a dish or whatever, and then weighed, packaged, labeled, and given to them to go to checkout. So you can think of your own experience as you walk into a bigger enterprise level store. Every one of those stores would have a butcher towards the end of the store where you could, ask for certain pieces of steak to be cut, weighed, and they'll just weigh it, package it, and print a little label and give you the package with that label. So when you go back to checkout, you simply scan that barcode, right? So again, not that a merchant only has these issues that I've listed. This is a very neatly put together list of needs or requirements if you're dealing with a grocery store that you should be aware of as a sales agent out there. But obviously, grocery stores in general think about more than just these things. But as far as the Clover point of sale is concerned, this is your list right here.